This is lesson 12.4 warm-up, solving multi-step inequalities. Your objective is that you will be able to solve and graph linear inequalities. So for the warm-up today, just doing a little bit of a review from what we did last time. So last time we started talking about how inequalities work and kind of what they look like. So as kind of a refresher, we have a couple of questions here. So the first one is negative 2 over 3 is less than negative 4x. And we talked about it last time. My kind of first instinct whenever I see this is I want that x to be on the left-hand side. So you can make that change if you want to, or if you don't want to, that's totally fine as well. So whenever I'm making that change, I'm making sure that the arrow's pointed kind of towards the same number that I start off with. So in this case, I have negative 4x is, I'm kind of switching the sign, but not at the same time, over negative 2 to the third, or 2 over 3, sorry. Again, we have the arrow kind of pointing toward, if you will, pointing towards the negative 2 over 3. So the next thing that we have is, okay, we need to get rid of this negative 4. It's making it so that the x isn't by itself. So what I need to do is I need to divide by negative 4. And we divide by negative 4. Now, this looks a little bit complex simply in the fact that we have this kind of fraction that's being divided by another fraction, or another number. So it looks a little bit confusing. The way that this winds up working is we get x. I divided both sides by a negative number, so my sign actually switches. And this turns into negative 2 over 12. Which actually reduces down to x less than negative 1 over 6. Now, there's kind of two ways of getting this. The first is to recognize that whenever we're dividing by this negative 4, it's the same as multiplying by 1 over negative 4. So if I did 1 over negative 4 times negative 2 over 3. Whenever you do this, you simply multiply across and you get negative 2 over negative 12. At the same time, whenever you do that, you might recognize, hey, these two actually wind up reducing down. This turns into 1. This turns into 2. The negatives cancel out, and we get 2 over, oops, sorry, not 2, 1 over 6. So that wound up kind of working for us just a little bit. And I actually, oops, I did not get rid of this negative. I meant to get rid of this negative because we did this negative divided by a negative over here. Okay, let me change my colors real quick. Let's do that. Now, graphing this also might seem like it's a pain, but there's kind of an easy way around this. So I'm going to start this at 0. And let me erase this just so it's out of the way. So this is 0. I'm actually right here going to make this 1 over 6. And then I'm going to make this 2 over 6. And I mean, I could reduce that if I wanted to, but I might as well just leave it like this. 3 over 6, 4 over 6. And I'm going to go the same way in the other direction, negative 1 over 6. Negative 2 over 6, negative 3 over 6. And so I can actually graph this pretty accurately now instead of kind of just guesstimating where it's at. Let's use dark blue. So in looking at this, x is less than 1 over 6. I know that I go to 1/6. I ask, is it an open or a closed circle? It's an open circle because it has it doesn't have that equal sign underneath there. And then I read it again. I say x is less than 1/6. So what's the number that's less than 1/6? 0 is less than 1/6. So we're going to go this way. Yeah, hopefully you got it. If not, feel free to kind of review that. Ask your teacher if you need to, because we are going to kind of continue to move on. So on number 2 for the warm-up, well, we have negative 4 over 5. X is greater than or equal to negative 2. So in looking at this, I say, hey, x is on the left side, awesome. Is my x alone? No, it's not. It has this weird negative 4 over 5 on it. To get rid of this in kind of the most efficient way possible, what we wind up doing, I'm going to write this out down here, so negative 4 over 5x is greater than or equal to negative 2. This just makes it so that we can kind of work with it a little better. I'm actually going to multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal is basically whenever you take the 4 and put it on the bottom and take the 5 and put it on top. So I'm going to multiply by negative 5 over 4. And what this effectively does is it cancels everything out, which is pretty cool. But what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I'm multiplying by negative 5 over 4. Now I multiplied both sides by a negative, so again, I have to switch my sign or flip my sign, whatever that terminology is that you like to use. So whenever I do this, I get negative 2 times 5. And in case you didn't know or you forgot, there's an invisible 1 underneath this. So I just multiply across. So negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10. And 1 times 4 is 4. And this reduces down. This reduces down to x is less than or equal to 5 over 2. Now again, keep it easy on yourself. I know that I'm going to have to start over just a little bit over here in order to make this work. Actually, I'll start it here too so you can ask yourself the question. So I got 0, I got 1 over 2, 2 over 2, 3 over 2, 4 over 2, 5 over 2, 6 over 2. And I say, okay, I know that I'm at 5 over 2. Change my color real quick. So I'm at 5 over 2. So I know I'm going to put a dot there. Now the question is, do I fill it in or do I leave it open like that? And the answer is we fill it in because of this equals sign. So I'm going to fill it in. Then the next question I have is, does it go to the left or the right? And so I say, okay, x is less than or equal to 5 over 2. What's the number that's less than 5 over 2? Well, anything that's less than 5. What's less than 5? 4 over 2. So I'm going to go to the right. Okay. All right, and that's the warm-up. Feel free to pause, reverse, and ask questions.